What is up, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with some more fantasy football content. Going to be breaking down the first round of the NFL draft today. Going to be going over all the fantasy impact of the first round. And yeah, so if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe down below, and leave your questions or comments in the comment section. As always, I will be responding. But yeah, without much further ado, let's hop right into this draft, talking about the fantasy impact of it. All right, so let's start with the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Trevor Lawrence at the 101. No surprise here. Actually, these first two picks are going to be real quick. No surprises here. So Trevor Lawrence going to Clemson. Huge boost for all the weapons involved. They took Etienne with the number 25 pick. Obviously, this is a huge loss for James Robinson. As you can see, they traded up there to get Travis Etienne. They said they're going to use Travis Etienne as the third down back. That's what Urban Meyer said already. But honestly, James Robinson is probably one of the biggest losers of the draft because of this. Basically, when you spend a first-round pick on a running back, forget about the guy that was already there almost. So, yeah, he's basically – he'll be fantasy relevant, but not I don't even know if James Robinson, where he'll be drafted anymore, honestly, with the ETN pick. So, major fade, James Robinson. Don't even think it's really a big thing for Travis Etienne either, unfortunately, because of James Robinson being, serviceable in the running game. I think he'll get a lot of those first down carries. I think they'll split up the work just enough where Travis Etienne's going to be the guy you want, but James Robinson's going to be a thorn in Etienne's side all year long. All right, Zach Wilson, number 2, going to BYU. They also drafted Alijah Vera-Tucker late in the first round, an offensive guard, to help protect Zach Wilson. This is a big win for the Jets, I think. I think he's a talented quarterback. They were able to help put some offensive linemen around him to protect him. And yeah, I think he's going to be a very good quarterback for the Jets. So now let's hop into the most exciting pick of maybe the draft. Trey Lance going 3, North Dakota State quarterback, going to 3 to the San Francisco 49ers, going to that Kyle Shanahan-led system where he's going to be probably very good for fantasy, especially when you add in that rushing ability that he has. I think he's going to be absolutely dynamite for fantasy moving forward. Maybe not year one, but I would definitely be drafting. I'd be probably taking him higher than Zach Wilson in rookie drafts, even though I think Zach Wilson's a more talented player just because of the landing spots. Kyle Pitts at 4, going to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I think this is a slight loss for Julio, a slight loss for Calvin Ridley, basically all the other pass catchers in the offense. The main winner from this pick, though, is I think Kyle Pitts and Matt Ryan. I think Pitts is going to get the ball in the red zone. I think he's a borderline 10-touchdown guy or more as a rookie. I think he really has that potential, especially when you put him in with Matt Ryan. Not that Matt Ryan's a great fade thrower in the red zone, as we've seen. Julio struggles so much because of Matt Ryan's inaccuracies in the red zone. But if he can miss Kyle Pitts, then he's reached a whole other level of being bad. So not that Matt Ryan's a bad quarterback, but not the best in the world by any means. Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts would probably be my number 1 overall pick in rookie dynasty drafts. Actually number 2 behind Jamar Chase, just because Chase did get to go to the Bengals, reunite with Joe Burrow. Love that destination for him. He'd be my 101, but Kyle Pitts would be my 102. Jaylen Waddle went at 6 to the Miami Dolphins. This is a huge win, I think, for Jaylen Waddle just being drafted this high. Yeah, he probably could go into a team with a better quarterback, but I do think he'll get, some deep balls. I think when you take a guy at 6, you have to be planning on getting him the rock a good amount, even though they've got, Will Fuller, DeVonta Parker. They've got some weapons there now. I think Tua is a big winner, though. They brought in a lot of people to surround him. So we'll see how Tua does this year. I would probably be taking DeVonta Smith, though, and Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, all well ahead of Jaylen Waddle, just to be in rookie drafts. I'll be coming out with a rookie draft video later this week, going over the exact order of these guys in first round, so stick tuned for that if you're a dynasty player. Penei Sewell went at 7. Not going to touch on all the offensive linemen, but Penei Sewell went at 7 to the Detroit Lions. Think that's a huge win for the running backs. He's going to be dominant run blocker in year 1. And their quarterback, Jared Goff, long term, I think that's a big win. Let's skip the 2 defensive picks. As I said, DeVonta Smith went to the Philadelphia Eagles at 10. They traded up to get him. I think this is a really good landing spot for him. He's going to be the number 1 receiver on that team. I think he has a clear path to a big target load his rookie year. He has, some connection with the former quarterback at all. Something, it's better than nothing. I don't think it's a huge big deal that they were both at Alabama together. I don't think they have, they're synced in already or anything like that, especially after these years apart. But I think it's a talented player going to an opportunity to succeed. Justin Fields went at 11. I think this was a big win for David Montgomery. They addressed the offensive line this draft. That's another pick later, but I think anytime you bring in a running quarterback, it's going to help the running back. And I think Justin Fields is probably an upgrade for the entire offense in general over Andy Dalton. Excited to see what he can do for that Chicago Bears team moving forward. At 13, Rashawn Slater went to the Los Angeles Chargers. That's a big upgrade for Justin Herbert, getting that left tackle as well as Austin Eckler in their running game. Adding Corey Linsley this offseason, they had Brian Bulaga, now they have a left tackle, which they've needed desperately for years. So big upgrade there. Mac Jones goes at 15 from Alabama to the New England Patriots. Think he's going to be able to succeed there. He's their type of quarterback, hit checkdowns, just get the ball out on time, make the right decisions, things like that. Think he can be very successful in that system. Don't think it's a huge fantasy impact. Maybe a slight bump up for those receivers because I do think he'll be better than Cam Newton will be for the receivers once he starts playing. Alex Leatherwood went to the Raiders. That's a bump for their run game, I guess. That was a reach of a pick, though. So Kadarius Toney went at 20 to from Florida to the Giants. Don't think this is a great landing spot for him, but I do think this is a big win for Daniel Jones. They've had Kenny Galladay and him in the free agency. They can get that offensive line playing a little bit better. I could see Daniel Jones being a solid quarterback this year. He was 7th last year in quarterback rushing, to put that into perspective as well. So let's move. For one of my favorite picks in the entire draft was the Vikings trading down and getting Christian Darrisaw, the tackle from Virginia Tech. I think that was a great move by them. He's a great pass blocker, only allowed 6 pressures his last season. Think he's going to do some great things for them and that running game in general, as well as protecting Kirk Cousins. Najee Harris went to the Steelers. Think he's a winner. Don't think this is a great pick by the Steelers. Don't really love Najee Harris either. Played behind that offensive line in Alabama. That was amazing last year and had one run over 20 yards, and they won the best offensive line in the country. I just question the explosiveness, and when you think about running behind an Alabama offensive line against all the other college football teams, and then you go to an offensive line like the Pittsburgh Steelers that really didn't address the offensive line a whole ton throughout the NFL draft, and what didn't have a great offensive line last year, and now you're playing against NFL talent, I don't see him becoming more explosive at this level. I just don't see that happening. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but we will see. Travis Etienne, we talked about him already. Think he is, a very talented player. More excited probably about year 2 than year 1, but I think year 1, he'll still be good, obviously, because he's a first-round pick. And then Rashad Bateman, honestly, the only real big loser I saw of the draft going to the Baltimore Ravens. That was kind of a bummer. The Kadarius Toney going to the Giants was a great pick either as far as a landing spot for a wide receiver. But, going to Lamar where they run the ball so much and stuff. Definitely could have done better as well with Lamar's inaccuracies. But that's definitely a dub for Lamar. Give him another big target, or one big target, I guess. They've got Mark Andrews as well, but 2 big targets. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I'm going to be breaking down a bunch of more draft content coming up this week, so stay tuned. Until next time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Questions and comments, I'll respond in the comment section. As always, peace out, guys. Fantasy Joe. Stick around for more draft content.